Welcome to GGSP,
Australia's only video game TV show for younger gamers.
Coming up, we get messy in the creative squishy sandbox of Claybook.
plus some brain-melting time manipulation puzzles in the gardens between.
And I saddle up for a let's play of Trials Rising and try not to rage quit. Whoa! What a way to start a race!
Oh, quick, everyone, do your rage quit faces.
Claybook is a physics-based puzzler developed by Finnish indie studio Second Order, which will see you rolling, climbing, moulding and morphing through a series of adorable claymation-style obstacle courses.
And while playing as a lump of clay may not seem like the most interesting premise, turns out there's a lot of fun to be had from it. There are 5 chapters that make up the campaign, which are divided into 4 levels each. In order to progress to the next chapter, you'll have to earn stars, which you do by completing each level as fast as you can.
And you'll soon find that's easier said than done. The first few levels start out fairly basic and introduce the core mechanics, such as grinding down clay structures, reversing time to undo mistakes, and creating static clay copies of yourself to use as bumpers or blocks. I really liked the copies or stamps ability, mostly because I'm the biggest klutz out.
Don't worry, Jem. I'm pretty sure I wore out the rewind button myself. The objectives to each level are very simple, like filling a tank full of liquid or filling empty spaces with clay copies. On their own, they don't present much of a challenge, but it's when the game weaves them together that things really get interesting. Some levels will have 3 or 4 different interconnected puzzles that you'll have to work out, and that can mean a lot of trial and error to get that perfect run.
Oh, hello, hello! Funny you should mention Trial Goose, as 2 of the founders of Second Order, Sebastian Aaltonen and Sami Saarinen, worked on the popular physics-based motocross puzzler Trials Evolution.
Well, with 2 puzzling pros like that behind it, I don't feel so bad for having to restart so many times.
One should never be afraid of the restart button in a game like this one, especially as it is possible to lock yourself out of certain solutions with miscalculations. On a particular level, one of my objectives was to fill the tanks, which I had to do by carving a hole into one of the runways so the water could flow into another below it. Instead, I maybe sort of managed to destroy a good chunk of the one I needed, totally ruining my chance to complete the objective.
It's so annoying. Personally, my biggest issue with the game is the way the clay handles. While I did like the way it picks up the colours of what it rolls over, there's a real airiness to the way it moves. Without any weight to it, I was just flying off ledges left and right. So much so that I didn't even attempt a few objectives out of frustration. Thankfully, you don't have to reach 100% completion to pass. But mistakes cost precious seconds, which can be the difference between a 2 and a 3-star score. And without enough stars, you won't be able to progress. So I found myself just quitting while I was ahead if things weren't looking so good.
It also doesn't help that the whole time you have one of gaming's creepiest looking kids eyeballing you.
They are really unsettling, but in a way we are destroying their beautiful clay world, so...
Well, technically they're the ones doing that. We're just the tools of their destruction. As you move about the environment, you can watch it mould and crumble around you, which I thought was incredibly cool. And all the levels are so colourful and full of life, like something straight out of a stop-motion film.
Indeed, Jem. According to their official website, Second Order wanted to design a unique gaming experience, stating that Claybook is powered by our in-house developed technology called Clayfield. Using this technology, we can render and simulate rich volumetric clay environments. I do love seeing developers trying new things and building games from the ground up.
Well, speaking of which, you can create your own clay courses using Claybook's decked-out level editor. It took me a while to get the hang of, but I have to say I really enjoyed getting to tap into my creative side and just muck about. Minus the actual muck, of course. You can also then share your creations online and play levels designed by others.
I wasn't much for the building aspect myself. I prefer playing on the pre-made courses, but I can appreciate it's there for the more inventive spawnlings to really dig into. Claybook also has split-screen multiplayer, where you and up to 4 friends can team up and tackle the Kingdom of Clay together.
So many clay-related puns to pick from. We should roll this up. Final thoughts, Jim?
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Claybook is a very different kind of game that fascinated me with its creativity just as much as it bugged me with its flaws. I think a world of clay is an interesting concept, but I don't feel like it was utilised to its full potential here. That being said, it does have its fun moments, and I adore the art style. I'm giving it 2.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Yeah, there is a lot to like about Claybook. It's fun, quirky, and has lots of personality. But I can see how issues with the handling and lack of any safeguards against accidental destruction can quickly breed frustration and take a lot of enjoyment out of the experience. Still, virtual clay is fun to play with. I'm giving it 3 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Doing scoop always makes me want a big scoop of ice cream. Aw. Well, enough ice cream for now. We've got gaming headlines that are just as delicious. It's time for the scoop. First up, Minecraft fans will have the chance to vote for which biome should be updated next. Votes can be placed during the Minecon Earth livestream for either the cool climate forests of the taiga, the plains of the savannah, or the hot and arid desert. The winning biome will receive new features and a new mob. I, for one, am Team Tiger all the way. No, not that kind of tiger. Next up, Slime Rancher is getting a free VR update. The VR Playground mode will feature selected environments based on settings that feature in the game and allow up-close and personal interactions with some of the game's beloved slimes, so you can really feel like you're there amongst the slimes. Ugh. Moving on, and a never-before-seen Pokemon has appeared after a community event in Pokemon Go. Fans went a bit nuts over the new Pokemon, which apparently has a Pokédex number of 891 and appears to have a nut for a head. No, not that kind of nut. It was since revealed that its name is Melton, and it has liquid arms and legs to corrode metal and absorb it into its own body. Which reminds me, I wonder if my ice cream is Melton. In other news, it seems that not all has been A-OK with the recently released NBA 2K19. The 2K game's customer support line has apparently been experiencing more complaints than usual, with players lodging a range of bugs and issues, including loss of custom characters or virtual currency, problems with progression, and even being stuck in never-ending games. Yikes, I mean, I know it sometimes feels like you want to play games forever, but that is just too much. And finally, video games could actually help grown-ups with back pain. New research from the University of Sydney used Nintendo Wii Fit U to test the effectiveness of video game exercise in the home for over 55s with chronic back pain. They found a 27% reduction in pain and a 23% increase in function from the exercises. So maybe there are some grown-ups out there that could benefit from a little more gaming in their lives. And now it's time for the extra scoop. And it's vanilla. I mean, this week it's Labo meets Lego. A clever online channel has been experimenting with the tactile tools, blending the tech of the Labo with the sturdiness of Lego. Ooh, how exciting! Legbo! And that's all the time we've got for today. If you found an extra scoop you'd like to share with us, send it here. Now back to some of my other favorite scoops. That's so good.
It's time for another GGSP Let's Play, and today I'm sitting down to check out the beta of Trials Rising, the recently announced next game in a series known for its super technical racing, stunts, and of course, style. But if I'm being perfectly honest, for me, it's always been about those glorious stacks and crashes. So, I'm all suited up, I've got my flare, time for a quick safety check before I head off. Helmet, please! Well, how am I meant to see in this? Oh, that's better. 3, 2. Oh, wow. Oh, that's a long way down. Whoa! Ah! Oh, no. Floor it, floor it. Dun, 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 dun. Whoa! What a way to start a race. Oh, no. Oh, no. Stay up, Goosey. Crash. Reset buttons. Which, oh no, I can still wiggle about. Oh no! So the trick with Trials, maintain balance at all time and focus. All about focus. Yeah, okay. Go, go, go. Yes! Into the fountain. That explodes. Mwah. Bronze medal. Who cares? I had fun. Up with the front flip. Yes! Go, Goosey, go. Oh, I'm tensing up. Ah, no. Yes. No. Yes. No. Ah, backflip. Getting up the tricks, getting up the tricks. Oh, we're in an aircraft carrier. Hopping and, oh, that's cool. Bit of 0G, why not? This is so cool. Ah, no. Okay, where do I go? Ah! Upwards. That makes sense. We are literally climbing the Eiffel Tower. Where to now? Where to now? Backwards? Through, bit of French, red, white, and blue. We made it! There's the finish! There's the finish! Come on! Oh, I'm up. And of course, launching off the platform to finish. So that was a Let's Play of Trials Rising, and from just that small selection of tracks, I can already tell this game is all about being faithful to that wild and wacky sense of fun the series is renowned for. In fact, it actually feels almost identical to play as the other games. The track design and environments are wildly different, but at its core, this is still a game about balancing your momentum as you hurtle across a 2D plane at ridiculous speeds. And sure, if you played every game in the series so far and are maybe hoping for something drastically different, that could be a problem, but I doubt that's the case for many who, like me, find this style of racing so much fun and just so satisfying. Whoa, over the lake! The lake is exploding, everything must explode in this game. And from this small vertical slice that I played, it's obvious the team at Red Link still have so much unique creativity when it comes to piecing together these tracks, to include bombastic set pieces, coupled with smaller technical challenges that can have you spamming the reset button like mad. I also really loved that this just seems to be a mashup of the best of when it comes to the style of this series. Unlike the futuristic themed previous game Trials Fusion, this World Tour style will hopefully allow for more of a mixed bag feel, with some really inventive tracks that play around with different countries. Couple that with a decent progression system and some multiplayer shenanigans, and I can already feel that Trials fever setting in as I push myself to get gold on every track when the game does come out early next year. For now though, I think I'm gonna see if I can make it to the end of at least one of these tracks without crashing, and really? The helmet again? All right, safety first, I guess. Ugh.
Hey Goose, I've been wondering, why doesn't Ask SP have its own special theme song?
I don't know, Jem. How would a theme song for Ask SP go?
I don't know, something like, Ask SP, fun for you and me. There's Goose and Jem, and Ran in the hand, and Darren, and it's Ask SP.
Yeah, okay, I can see now why we don't have a theme song.
I tried.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get answering, shall we? And the first cab off the rank is a video from Logan, but hang on. I think we're getting some interference in our signal. I think Darren might be downloading something. Let's see how we go.
Hey, good game. I have a few questions. 1. What's the newest Mario game? And 2. Are there any more 2D Sonic games like Sonic Mania? Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Logan. Bit of a glitchy picture there, but we got your questions loud and clear, and you'll be getting your GGSP pin very soon. Hang on. Goose, you're glitching too.
Jem, what's happening?
Let me just...
Oh, thank you. That felt weird.
Right. Well, to answer Logan's first question of what the newest Mario game is, let me see. Possibly Mario Tennis Aces. That's if we're talking games featuring Mario.
Ah, yes, that's probably the most recent I can think of too. But Super Mario Odyssey would be the most recent major Mario-driven adventure game in the Super Mario tradition. And of course, there will be more games to feature Mario coming out quite soon, like Super Mario Party.
To your next question about whether there are any other 2D Sonic games like Sonic Mania, well, yes, there are other 2D Sonic games like Sonic Mania. In fact, Sonic Mania is somewhat of an homage to the original 2D Sonic games from the 90s. There was also Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 1 and 2 a few years ago. Before that, there was Sonic Rush Adventure and Sonic Rush on the Nintendo DS, just to name a few others. So there are a number of Sonic games in that style.
Oh, but if you mean, are there any new 2D Sonic games that have come out since Sonic Mania? No, I don't believe so.
On to our next question. This one is from Justice Turtle, the toasted cheese queen from Perth.
A turtle is the queen of toasted cheese in Perth?
A Justice Turtle. Hello, I'm a big fan. I have a couple of questions. 1. On Minecraft Nintendo Switch Edition Physical, how come you have to have a Microsoft account? 2. Goose, do these. Jem, do these. If you don't answer, you will never eat cheese toast ever. P.S. I love Undertale.
Oh, well, thank you, Justice Turtle, the toasted cheese queen. Slow turtle bow. On to your question of having a Microsoft account for Minecraft on the Nintendo Switch Edition. Well, you do need to have a Microsoft account if you want to crossplay with Minecraft users on other platforms.
Oh, and sign in with other devices and transport any Minecoins or purchases you have made. Since Microsoft owns Minecraft as of a few years ago, I guess they want you to use their account system for this kind of thing.
But I believe it is free and apparently optional, so if you don't want to have access to any of those features, you don't have to have one.
Now, let's have another look here and... Uh-oh. It's a noob accusation from Hypermotive in the Motor Nation. Oh, not again.
Oh, dear. Alert! Alert! This is not a drill! Gem has made a huge noob mistake. A couple of weeks ago, in a land far, far away, a person named Jem said that in The Crew 2, you can't change cars during races like the intro. This is false. I've been playing The Crew 2 for a month now, and I have found out that you can change cars during races. They are called live extreme races. It's pretty much a TV show inside a game. So I call Noob Cup time. Oh no, Jem, noob accusation.
It's fine, Goose. I've dodged noob accusations before. They roll off me like water off a duck's back, like noob pellets off the hardened armour of a gaming pro.
I don't think that's a common simile.
Well, let's ask Darren anyway, shall we? Get his expert opinion.
Greetings, this is Darren.
Hey Darren, Jem here. We have another pesky noob accusation situation. Hypermotive says that I said in The Crew 2 you can't change cars during races like you could in the intro, but apparently you can in the Live Extreme series. Should we review the footage?
Affirmative. Roll the tape. Me?
I was a bit disappointed there weren't more races where you transition from road to sky to sea all in the same race, like you do in the game's intro. It was awesome seeing the world twist in on itself as you changed vehicle. You can switch on the fly in free roam, but I would have loved to see more of it in the actual racing challenges.
Well, Jem, according to my data, you can transform your vehicle during the race in Live Extreme Races mode, as Hypermotive suggests. Criticizing a game for something it lacks when it does not, in fact, lack it. Well, that's got to be a noob misdemeanor. This might even be a matter for the noob court.
Wait, hold up here. Let's not put the cart before the noob here. I said I was disappointed there weren't more races where you change vehicle. I was simply stating my preference for more of something. That's my opinion, not a noob up, right? Right?
You're lucky my hard drive was recently defragmented. I suppose, technically, that is your opinion. Nevertheless, I believe a yellow card is in order.
Oh, a yellow card. I guess that's better than a noob cup. Thank you for your mercy then, Darren.
Stay vigilant, Jem. Until next time, goodbye.
Bye.
That was a close one, Jem.
No.
Well, now I think we better wrap up. If you have any questions for us, don't forget that video questions we pick for the show will get a sweet GGSP pin. Simply go here.
Wait, Goose, no, you're frozen. What do I... Help! Hands? Darren! What do I do? I can't hit him again. Or can I?
When I was a kid, I had a best friend growing up named Mitchell. We used to play together every lunchtime and collect gum nuts in the bush. But after about a year, I changed schools and I didn't really see him again. It was tough losing a good friend, and it was a really emotional growing up experience, similar to the one captured in The Gardens Between. Developed right here in Australia, The Gardens Between is a surreal puzzle game all about time and memory. Best friends and next-door neighbours Arena and Frent grew up together, but now one of them is moving away. As they reminisce about their shared childhood, they're thrown into a series of dreamlike islands, which they need to journey up and place a lamp atop of. To help them on their way, you'll need to solve a series of puzzles to clear their path. Gameplay is simple, but really rather clever. You use the left and right arrow keys to move time backwards and forwards, which makes the characters walk along paths on the island. The spacebar lets you interact with various parts of the environment, and these often pause time for the characters, but not the world around them. I really like this gameplay mechanic. It makes you feel super perceptive as you watch the passage of time and figure out how you're going to change the landscape. But this time-traveling puzzling can be pretty tricky. Often you'll have to change something to unlock another interactive point, and then backtrack before you can continue. It's a bit time-consuming and occasionally feels tedious going over the same areas, but for the most part, it's enjoyably challenging. The pacing is good, with most puzzles not taking too long to get through, but they're meandering enough that you can enjoy what's before you. I did get stumped on a couple, but after taking a little break to let my mind rest, I managed to solve them without too much difficulty. Having all your control be centered around the passage of time creates quite a poignant message. It's like the game is gently showing you how sometimes you have to move back to go forward, and that time will always ultimately pass. It's a heartfelt look at enjoying the moment because it can be gone all too soon. I find often with short games that try to have an emotional message, they can become oversaturated with the same sentiment. But that is not the case with The Gardens Between. The story is subtly woven throughout the environments and body language. The way they carry themselves and look at each other and hold hands, it all gives you a peek into their relationship. On top of that, each island is populated with items that are a part of a significant memory. Oversized objects feel really playful and are used in puzzles seamlessly throughout the island. But these richly populated maps can actually be a little frustrating sometimes, as it's hard to know what you can and can't interact with, and how. Thankfully, I was enjoying myself so much that it never ruined my experience. The memories themselves are also a nice insight into their special friendship. They're not necessarily big, epic events, they're just nice moments in their daily life. Playing games together or sharing an ice block, they're very real moments. And there's a great sense of whimsy and surprise, like when you get to play a video game within a video game. I adore how subtly this story is told, because it lets you just observe and be a part of it, rather than constantly being jarred by deliberate attempts at making you feel. At the same time, there's enough there to ease those emotions to the front. The soundtrack, for example, has layers of rich ambient music that just tugs on your heartstrings. The music in this game is definitely something that I would listen to in my own time. But this game doesn't just sound great, it also looks great. The art style and winding islands are iconic, feeling nostalgic and dreamy. There's also a decent variety in environments without feeling disjointed. I was really taken by this journey. It's not always easy to create an emotional experience in a game, but The Gardens Between hits the nail on the head, and it has compelling gameplay. It's not a long game, but quality over quantity. I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 rubber chickens. Oh, and Mitchell, if you're watching this, let's hang out.
A game that gets you right in the feels.
You know, if I was ever to be stranded on an island, I hope it would be one that could control the flow of time.
Yeah, you could just reverse it every time you ran out of coconuts. Next week on GGSP, we jump back into the journey of a champion in FIFA 19. Plus, we go hands-on with the new Nintendo Labo vehicle kit.
We'll also have a special guest co-host. Lawrence from News to Me will be here to get his game on, helping these guys out while I'm in Japan on a secret GGSP mission.
Ooh, sounds mysterious. Actually, we know exactly what it is, but you spawnlings will have to wait a little bit longer.
Until next time, be nice, have fun, and keep gaming. Rat out.
Goose out.
Gem out.